Welcome to episode 9 of the Bias Bettors podcast. As always, our goal is to make you more money. This collective of six comes to you this week from live across the nation, touting a 102 and 80 against the spread overall record. Our college football picks are still phenomenal, 69 and 44 on the year. For our
Nice.
YouTube following, you can see the collective of six of the greatest betting minds you will ever find on your screen right now. And without further ado, let's jump right into it with the Who's Hot slide. Bias Better Dudley, take us away.
I don't know what the picture on the right is, though. Is that supposed to be you and Hannah with kids running around?
Yeah, it looks
Picture
like
on
it.
the right looks to be HJ in a
Paul,
Jamar
are you
Gibbs
cooking some
jersey.
coyote turds on the grill? Is that what that is?
That
I
looks
should have
like
known
Paul
this was
grilling.
double G. So it appears Bias Better Hannah is wearing a Jameer Gibbs jersey. She had significant money on Jameer Gibbs to score on Monday Night Football. It appears it's our two kids in diapers, Minnesota diapers, Vikings diapers, running around, and I'm the lonely old guy cooking on the grill. Am I right, Double G?
It also looks like she's sipping on something called McCarthy juice. So
AI has officially gone too far. What else you got on this, Dudley?
Um, okay. So what we got biased BB gun, what, 34 nothing exact score. Was that tweeted out?
I did not
That
tweet
would
it
have been
out,
that would
but
have
I
been
think I
nuts
gotta
said
li
it.
for the
gotta listen to
record.
the pod. Listen to the pod.
Okay.
That's right.
The Chiefs are hot, apparently. We have Mr. Brigham Young himself on the screen. You could say what you want about him, like in his religion and everything like that, in the pajamas that they have to wear and everything like that. We're not going to make any Mormons mad because they don't sports bet anyway, so we'll just kind of get into it now. But boy, could he recruit a quarterback, and he has done it. And then we have Fred Hoiberg, fresh off of beating BYU in basketball, right there in their exhibition game. So that is our hot who's hot screen. Yeah.
Are any of the Bias Betters hot? BB gun?
I think I was the only one this week. Both the whales went down. They were both hit.
What was your record this
I
week?
got chewed up like that instructor at SeaWorld. That's what I look like with my whale.
I think my record was 4-2. But I was up a ton of units because I put an absolute whale on Minnesota to cover 7.5 against Nebraska and a whale on Ohio State to cover a ridiculous 25.5 against Wisconsin. So I think overall record was good and the units were great.
If you haven't already noticed, we do have Bias Better Dudley. He's chomping on something tonight.
I almost just
Bias
dropped some
Better
ketchup on the keyboard.
Bias Better Dudley lost our punishment last week. It was the Texas Tech Arizona State game. Bias Better Hannah got the best of him. And because of that, Dudley is putting down, what are they, quarter pounder? He's putting down 4 gas station hot dogs tonight on the pod. What do you got, Dudley?
I pound if I don't want to know what type of meat right here on some buns, and I'm just trying to eat as much as possible.
Just a casual 10 p.m. throat missile.
Which gets us into another segment I want Dudley to take. It's our David Bennett, This Dog is Barking, brought to you by Ruzek Financial. You dug into the numbers this week, Dudley. What do you got on our dogs?
Let me go and look. It is so down here on the bottom, we are 19 and 11 against the spread and 11 and 19 straight up if you were to bet money line. If you were to put one unit on all of our spread picks and one unit on all of our money line picks for our dogs of the week, you would be up about 20 some odd units right now, which is wild. And then we're one Washington State stop away from being up a good jillion units. But instead, that was just a calm cover. Oh no.
What are you doing, Paul?
I was worried about this.
Why are you looking up the dictionary?
Oh my gosh.
If anybody doesn't know, Paul works in audio and visual.
We're
And he
back,
doesn't
boys.
know how to do any of it.
Okay, so pick. So we got this. Okay, somebody did pick it. So we got Minnesota plus 8.5 on the road at Iowa. Wow, 30. That was a pick. Hannah picked Wisconsin.
Yep.
Yep.
Is she thinking 31-0 and they cover, or what's the plan there?
She was telling me she just thinks the number's a bit too big.
It could be 1,000, and I don't think it'd quite be big enough. We got Texas at Mississippi State, 7.5. Tennessee, Kentucky, 9.5 for Kentucky on AG. Double G back in the MAC again with Kent State. Yikes. Betting against Bowling Green and that cat. They got like
D-
this big cat, I guess. Okay. And then I picked Houston plus 7.5 against Arizona State. That's what we're rolling with. Dog of the week.
Double G leading with 10 points to date.
Asterisks, though.
Apparently that's an asterisk because he won the bet the week he slept through the pod. So we're putting an asterisk by it. Ruzek Financial, our main guy Ryan Ruzek is starting to sweat because as you remember, total points is the whale of a dog he has to lay down at the end of the year. If it wins, he pays it out. So Ruzek Financial, shout out Ryan Ruzek. Moving on to the next segment, passing it over to Ramzag. Who's cold this week, Ramzag?
Ice cold. So ice cold. My wife wouldn't even touch me over the weekend. That was Bias Bettors Rams AG. The Jaguars might be the worst team in football besides the Texans. Uh, Bias Better Dudley. Um, he's eating hot dogs right now. That's cold. Otzelberger shirts are too big. That's cold. And then I heard some NBA team signed Russell Westbrook. That's cold. That is your who's cold of the week.
You've had the Jaguars right this entire season. You've been calling them the fake ID of the NFL. I've got a tweet out to Barstool Big Cat that may age pretty well thanks to Ramzag. You forgot a couple cold people though. Speaking of whale hunting, BB gun. Last week we had a couple biased bettors go whale hunting. They were looking for a couple Moby Dicks out there. As you heard, CJ made out all right. His whales hit. One of the biased bettors didn't make it though. As you can see on your screen, we lost a good soldier
My
whale
my
hunting this
harpoon didn't
week.
even have a spear on the end of it. I'm just going with some wooden
he did
sticks.
he did go whale hunting without a spear.
That
Through
So
was not a
a
good
blunt
omen when
stick.
that thing got posted, and I was like, "Oh, great!"
So the whales were Friday night, Minnesota to cover against Nebraska. That was easy. They blew out Nebraska and Ohio State to cover that huge spread, right, BB Gun?
Yeah.
And then Evan, you had Texas Tech who lost
So
at no, what were your whales?
His was Utah at
Utah.
BYU.
I thought you had two.
no, I just had one.
Just one.
You only need
Well,
one whale if you think you're gonna get it, and that sucked.
Moby Dick treated you like you're treating those hot dogs. That's all I gotta say.
Just munching.
Ramzag?
All right, a new slide here this week. Who's dead this week? R.I.P. Sister Jean. We put her up in heaven though. These other folks are down beneath the ground. Bill O'Brien officially dead. Penn State will not be giving him a call. That was a terrible pick, horrible game. Matt Rule also dead. Can't beat any ranked teams ever or any good teams. And then the Raiders, just complete incompetence, cost us the double G parlay this week. But
Whoa.
that is your who's dead of the week. Should have added Jordan Winnington, but he's on the teammate of the year slide that's coming up.
Double G. Did you actually watch that Chiefs Raiders debacle?
Of course I did. What
What?
other how many other games this year will we see a team kneeling before the 2-minute warning and the other team not
Oh,
calling timeouts?
just waving the white flag.
Has me a little
Uh,
worried about my Commanders with a backup quarterback going into Monday Night Football against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I mean, Vice Better Hannah said it to me this week. It's inevitable. They're making the Super Bowl again, aren't they? It's the worst. I hate it here.
Could be. I think
Yeah,
I
he
think
is.
along with Jordan Whittington, Andy Reid should also be on the teammate of the year slide for letting Pete Carroll by.
Should have ran it up.
Definitely could have.
Keep him in the
All
dirt.
right. That gets us into a huge matchup of the week. We've got bias better CJ. We've got bias better Ramsag. We've got a 2:30, correct? Saturday kickoff. Gophers at Iowa. Kind of a weird window. It's not a morning game. It's not an evening game. It's right there in the afternoon. Let's start with BB Gun. How do you see Minnesota at Iowa turning out this Saturday, BB Gun?
First question: is it on the cock or is it not on the cock?
No
It's on
Cox.
CBS.
CBS.
I don't know. The Nebraska line made sense last week going against a ranked opponent. I think they're also clearly high on Iowa right now. 8.5. It feels like a trap game. The last one did not feel like a trap game. This one feels all of a trap game. I think I'm going to go on Minnesota. I'm leaning Minnesota still because the over under is 38.5, and 8.5 points within that is a lot to cover. I just don't, with such a one dimensional offense, I just don't know how you can't prep and cover 8.5 points. So I'm leaning Minnesota on this. John Nestor return game. I have to shout out some moron on Twitter here. 1 second. Everybody from Iowa will agree on my side here. He said Nestor plays for Minnesota. That means we should be able to torch them in the air on at least half the field. And I responded, torch them in the air are words that have never been associated with an Iowa team. So shout out Alex _ Lyle _5, you moron.
Do you guys know Gronowski's last touchdown pass?
Wasn't it like week 2?
You
It
asking for a
was.
date or a yardage?
When?
I'll go
Like what game?
September 08.
I don't remember
It's
any.
the UMass game. He does not have a touchdown pass against a power team yet.
Wow. Well, hey, he's
You
running
guys
the
have a
hell out
running
of the
back.
ball.
You guys have a running back playing quarterback.
Ramsag, what do you
Also,
got on the matchup of the week?
Oh, BB gun. Go
one
ahead.
one final thing. I have watched South Dakota State for years before this, and once you start running Gronowski a little too hard, he's had a couple knee injuries this year. Don't be surprised if he takes a hit now that you guys are running him like he's a goddamn Frank Gore horse. So he might get
You're
hurt.
running him like he's Doug Martin out there.
Oh, Christ.
There it was. It didn't take long
All
for
right, Pete.
Evan. Why don't you start, or Dudley? Why don't you start eating some hot dogs?
Get
Got a couple left to
I
finish.
have one left, and that is looking absolutely disgusting.
Get the garbage cans ready, boys.
Should have been Kyron Williams.
Ugh, cut him. Anyways, this is kind of a spot where you would like to choose Minnesota, but CBS game, I expect Kirk to have the boys going. He was in tears coming out of the locker room after maybe the worst coaching decision in the history of the world. But the team rallied. They picked him up. He'll pick up the team this week. I'll take the Hawkeyes minus 6.5, 6.5. If Winkleman will take 6.5 for
Well,
the
hold on.
row across the league.
I will take the bet at 6.5. But what are you taking on the line for the game? 8.5.
No, I'm going to take the over 38.5.
So, worst coaching decision. This came from a guy that almost killed like 4 football players over the summer. Just throwing that out there.
You find tidbits from so many years ago that nobody knows about.
Like a big cat at Bowling Green. Who the hell knows that?
Oh, they have like the cat that they hold up. No, like Kirk Ferentz and Doyle, they like damn near murdered like 3 kids over summer camp.
They
Yeah.
had
Speaking,
whatever Kelsey Mitchell got where your body just locks up. He didn't know they didn't almost kill Brian Kelly killed a
Well,
person.
then they
So
locked him in
did
a
Tony
closet.
Stewart.
Tony
Hashtag,
Stewart.
hashtag Dale Earnhardt died.
speaking of years ago, quick, how about CBS's decision a couple years ago from going to like 2:30 Alabama, Georgia games to now we got prime time Minnesota at Iowa City.
It's what the people wanted. This is what the people want.
You want viewership, you buy into the Big Ten. I've got to say something on the matchup of the week. I'm trying to bet this thing. The line comes out, it's 8.5. If you're a Minnesota fan, you're feeling really good about the Gophers this year. You probably want to take plus 8.5. If you're an Iowa fan, you know we never blow anybody out. You probably take Gophers plus 8.5. If you're just a college football fan, recency bias, the Gophers are coming off a huge win where they looked great. Iowa barely snuck, you know, around a dead cat pounce Penn State game. I do not understand this line. I threw a mega Moby Dick whale on plus 8.5. I did
I like the Hawkeyes though.
it.
My prediction for the game, I'm going to take 22-21. Unfortunately, I'm going to take the Hawkeyes.
Oh,
Is this a punishment game?
this is a punishment game. So Dudley's got one more dog to put down. He looks like he's in absolute hell.
This is
Meanwhile, I know it's
absolutely
October.
disgusting.
It's below freezing in the Midwest. It's getting a little frisky out there. Loser of this Minnesota Iowa game, we're setting the line at 6.5. AG's got Iowa minus 6.5. The BB gun has Minnesota plus 6.5. Loser has to row a boat across the lake. Regardless if it's an Alexandria, Minnesota lake or a Storm Lake, Iowa lake, the loser has to row a boat across a lake. Look forward to videos and pictures of that next week, depending on who loses this for the
If
week.
I lose, I'll be like George Washington crossing the frozen river.
BB gun, real quick. You've got bias betters against, our season-long Joel Klatt show matchup. What did you think about last week's picks against Joel Klatt?
What a performance by Joel there. 0-6. Also, I went back on his Twitter just to see what he's saying. I want to shout out Josh Pate. He holds a little bit of accountability on how bad some of his takes are. Joel Klatt just is like, wow, what I learned today, or he's like, the home dogs are so dominant. He bet like over half of them are the guys on the road. He bet them to cover. And I'm like, dude, he just contradicts himself. He's a moron. That's why he's 36% winning percentage. I just don't get it.
So, YouTube followers, you can see on your screen, we are absolutely burying Joel Klatt this year. We have yet to have a losing record in our college football picks. Keep tailing those picks if you want to make money. Moving into picks for the week. BB gun. You've got a few games and a few picks on your slide. Who do you rolling with this week?
All right, I'll make it quick here. Couple buys in college football, but what I got, I have Minnesota to cover 8.5. It's just 32.5, I think now. Ohio State covered, they won 34-0. I think Wisconsin somehow scores a touchdown in this game, and Oregon scores 36. So I think Wisconsin covers by the skin on their teeth. So that's my other one for college. And then a big number one versus number two FCS game that's not getting talked about enough. I'm going to take NDSU. So far, I've seen the line is at 4.5. They are, I think, light years ahead of 2, 3, and 4 in FCS, which has been different from years past. I'm going to take them to cover 4.5 on the road at SDSU night game at Dana J. Dyke House. I hate hearing it. I hate saying it, but I'd take NDSU there. And then only NFL pick. Broncos are just going to fuck it up sometime and not come back in the fourth. So I'm going to take Cowboys money line.
I like the picks this week. Thank you for your service, CJ. Moving to Dudley. What do you like this week in your slate, Dudley?
So yep, I got Utah -9. I got that right away when it came out Saturday. I think they bounce back. I just really don't think Colorado's that good. I think they should be able at home to kind of take it to Colorado by a couple touchdowns. I have Texas Tech -36.5 against Oklahoma State. As we look at the rest of Paul's desktop. This could be a name or score game. I don't think Barrett Morton's going to play for Texas Tech. I think it'll be Will Hammond, but I think even with Will Hammond, you're staring a 50-7 type of game right in the face. Yeah, it's a lot of the payback for all the times that Oklahoma State would beat Tech 66-3, and you'd get some hilarious crowd shots in Lubbock. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. And then I've gone back and forth on Iowa State BYU all week. It's kind of just one of those games. I'm worried about how well Iowa State's defense or secondary is going to be able to tackle Bachmeier. And I think Bachmeier kind of proved against Utah that if he can run the ball, he can somewhat have some type of passing game going. And I think it'll be enough to keep Iowa State honest. And it's one of those that if I don't pick BYU +3 and BYU wins, I'm going to feel like such an idiot. So I'll take the 3.
I hopped on the Minnesota line as quickly as I could. I hopped on BYU line as quickly as I could as well. I just I don't see it out of Iowa State. That line doesn't make any sense to me, Dudley.
I think Iowa State will score, I think is what it's coming down to. I don't know.
What
I'm
time's
taking
that game?
BYU.
2:30
2:30.
Central.
2:30.
2:30 on Fox.
If it was a night game, I might lean Iowa State, but I like BYU.
BYU.
All right, moving into most of our following's favorite segment. It's the bias betters against Colin Cowherd's Blazing Five. You can hear it, you can see it on the herd on Fridays. Colin Cowherd's put together a couple good weeks. He went
Low
4
key
again.
Heaton.
He been eating a little bit. He battled his way above 500, and if you watch his show, he'll tell you about it. He's all of a sudden starting to puff his chest a little bit. This is an incredible stat. The bias betters went 2-3 in our NFL picks. We've been picking for 9 weeks in college against Joel Klatt for now 7/8 weeks in the NFL. This was the first time in either one that we had a losing record on the week. Which takes me into the next part of this slide. If you just tailed the bias betters on our dogs of the week, our Joel Klatt picks, and our Colin Cowherd picks, you would officially be up a Pedro Strop number of units. You would be up 46 units if you just tailed the bias betters in those three segments. I'll be honest, fellas. I think we may need to rethink our business strategy. Maybe we just pick a dog of the week each and send our best college pick, put it against Joe Klatt, send our best NFL pick, put it against Colin Cowherd. Because I don't know a single gambling service that would have you up 46 units on the year. What do you say?
Good looking picture we got here.
Yeah, that has everything Pedro Strop used to bring to the Chicago Cubs in one pick.
Got that Bob Costas bodied.
Yes.
Moving out of Colin Cowherd and into some NFL slash. I know you've got some college lines this week. You like two, AG. What do you got for your slate, AG?
All right, so in college, I'm just taking all the overs, points. It's going to be a points fiasco on Saturday. I think a points fiesta, as they say on Saturday. Over Illinois, Washington, over Minnesota, Iowa, and over the dead Boston College at Louisville. Louisville might score on every single possession. They might score 55 themselves.
AG,
What?
you know our records are against the spread, right?
I know.
I
I'm
count
trying to
over
win.
unders. I count over unders. They're usually around -110, -115. Same exact pick. I count those as well.
That doesn't make any sense, but all right.
Anyways, Sunday, 49ers at Texans. Texans are favored. They might be, their offensive line is the worst thing I've ever seen. CJ Stroud is running backwards the entire game. There's just no way the 49ers should be underdogs, which makes me not want to bet on them. But I'm going to take the 49ers plus the 1.5. The 49ers have been about my only bright spot this season, so I'm going to keep riding them until they don't pay off for me.
The Iowa State line and that Houston Texans line were two lines that just did not make any sense to me this week, other than
I had
Iowa being
something on the Iowa State line. We just
Yep.
got the injury report. Dominic Orange is probably not going to play. Hammer the crap out of BYU now.
See the
Iowa
fat
State
guy?
probably won't. Yeah, he's a big fella up front. I don't know how Iowa State stops to run now. So do it now when this thing is posted 13 hours from now. So it's already moved. But
Oh, it'll be live in about 15 minutes.
big citrus for Iowa State. He's out. He can't
Iowa State
stop
might
the
have a
run.
kicker back though. Oh my God. All the kickers are on the injury report now. That's not a great sign.
Moving on to Bias Better Hannah. She is not here tonight, but Bias Better Hannah has the Thursday night NFL game. She's got some games on Saturday in college football and then some games on Sunday as well for the NFL. Hannah's finally turning around. She's liking some dogs. She's saying take the over on Thursday Night Football, Vikings Chargers, 44 and a half. She likes Mississippi State to cover at home against Texas, +7. She likes UCLA, a huge dog on the road at Indiana to cover. And then, oh, reliable. She's going with Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, -4.5 at the New Orleans Saints on Sunday. One more thing for HJ. Just a hilarious request. I'm sad she's not here to defend herself. HJ has come up with a new a new gambling she's going
Algorithm.
she
Side quest.
well, she's going on a little bit of a quest. Thank you, CJ. It's HJ's quest to $1,000. She started with $5. She's hit 4 bets in a row. She's up to $132. I told her be financially responsible and cash out. She just wants to keep rolling it over. So you can see her bets that she's made so far. Saturday night, we were up late out here on the West Coast. She jumped on Grady's dog of the week, Stanford, who was a live 5 point dog. Hit that. Rolled it into
Heck,
Sunday.
Grady.
So she took the winnings of that, put it on a Colts Bears money line parlay. Hit that. Sunday night football, she rode with bias better Rams egg, took 49ers -1.5, hit that. And then the AI picture of her wearing the Jahmyr Gibbs jersey had a reason. She put, I think it was $80 on Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown Monday Night Football. He scored multiple times. It was absolute cash. She's currently sitting at $132. Pay attention to her Twitter to see her quest for $1,000. If she makes it, by the way, we all have to kind of give HJ props at the end of the day on this thing.
She's got a fighting chance if she sticks to NFL. If she bets any college football, it's fucked.
All right. Now, basketball season has started. We're not going to spend a bunch of time on this because it's absolute trash. But what do you got for us on the NBA this week, Grady?
We do need to spend 1 second. AG's going to help me out and relay the best part of the NBA start of the season. One, two, 1, 2, 3. Basketball. Hey, you watched that first and second games last night. We're good. The tough part for me as an NBA follower on a weekly podcast is the lines aren't out too far in advance with the management of some rosters. So I'm just going to make 2 picks quick of the Hawks +4.5 at the Magic on Friday and the Bucks +1.5 at the Raptors on Friday as well. But we're back, baby.
You've got Bucks season over on wins, right?
Bucks season over on wins and also Bucks Central Division champions. And then Atlanta Hawks 1 seed as a long shot in the Eastern Conference.
Bucks got a W tonight over the just really strong Wizards. So you're off to a good
Horrible
start there.
Wizards team. Going into some football picks, which all the people are here for. Watching Wisconsin the last couple weeks, a lot of things have happened nationally since Wisconsin scored their last points, which was nearly October 1st. So I'm going to take Oregon -32.5. And my big stats of the week are for Sunday Night Football, Packers at Steelers. This is an Aaron Rodgers revenge game. Those that don't remember, the youngins that listen to the pod, he used to play for the Packers. And Mike Tomlin has always been a very good home underdog. He is actually 21-7-3 as a home underdog since 2007 with 8 outright wins. And the Packers' last win was before any of us or any of our listeners were born, 1970. So I'm going to take the Steelers +3.5.
The Packers' last win in Pittsburgh?
In Pittsburgh, 1970.
Well, hold on. We got a listener. Tim Gallagher is older than that.
You're right. You haven't went over the F-bomb limit. He's probably still is listening. Thanks for the shout out.
Shout out Tim G.
And for all the ball knowers, aka none of you NFL knowers on this pod, y'all know what Sunday is. That's National Tight End Day. So we're going with the tight ends in the double G TD parlay. We got Dallas Goedert and Hunter Henry. Last year, we had 14 different tight ends score. So we're going with these two this Sunday, plus 615.
There's only 14 tight ends that scored a touchdown all of NFL last year.
No, 14 on National Tight End Day
Oh,
last year.
gotcha.
So we're picking two this year, and we can more than
You might as well
six
pick up
times
to
your
14.
money.
What is that quintuple your money or what is six times something, Dudley? I know you would know.
I think that's sep. Isn't it a septuple?
This
Septuplets?
guy
You have six
has
kids.
just pounds of hot dog in his stomach and pounds of useless knowledge in his head.
To be sharing a bed with me tonight, and that's all I gotta say.
Did you get the last dog down? Are you
We're like halfway down, and it looks terrible.
By the way, shout out Slip Socks, Sam Lips, one of our followers. He thought that was a dumb punishment. I think it's freaking hilarious. And Dudley, your face says it all. So shout out Slip Socks. You're wrong once
The keys to
again.
the quarter pound hot dogs. If I got some normal dogs, I could have done that in a minute. No, this is awful.
They're
That is,
quarter, they're
it's
throw
11
glizzies,
o'clock at
man.
night. I've eaten dinner already.
I'm trying to get my picks up, but this hot dog talk is too funny. All right. I've got Northwestern at Nebraska, Big Ten game. Speaking of dead cat bounce, I think Nebraska bounces back. Northwestern is by far the worst 5-2 team out there. Other than Cal is a surprising 5-2, but Northwestern being 5-2 is an absolute joke. It's at Nebraska. Home crowd's going to be into it. I love Nebraska to cover. Michigan State. Right now, Michigan State is a home dog. They're a 14-point dog. I got to lean on the other bias bettors here. I got a dilemma. So Michigan opened as a 5.5 point favorite, and within a day, it was bet up to 14. What was Vegas seeing when they had the line open at Michigan minus 5.5, and now it's jumped to minus 14? Is it just the rivalry?
Vegas has been listening to AG's Boston College talk too much, so they really took a lot of credit for Michigan State beating Boston College by 3.
I
I
think
think that's what it was.
I think the quarterback's out for Michigan State now to the backup. The starting
Okay.
quarterback's pretty good. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's
Really?
what it is.
Chili's?
I
Child.
thought it was mostly Michigan head coach coming to work with the
Yeah,
blue
with
collar
Carhartt.
jacket.
Chili's.
They did have a good, you know what? The blue collar worked for a week. They had a good win. They covered against Washington. AG had it pegged. Horrible spot for Washington coming across the country and playing at like their 9 a.m. time back home. So I'm not betting on that because that line moved weirdly. If the quarterback's out, that makes sense. Rams egg. Thank you for that. In the NFL, I'm going against bias better CJ on this one. I like the Broncos to ride the momentum they picked up in the fourth quarter against the G-Men and take out the Cowboys by at least a touchdown plus. You've got to keep in mind there are certain teams out there, the Cowboys being the biggest one, where you've just got mouth-breathing idiots that are Cowboy fans that are just going to hammer money at the Cowboys no matter what the line is. So always be cautious when betting Cowboy games. I think the Broncos easily cover, and this is going to be a rare instance where Vegas is going to make some money, even if a home favorite covers, a 3 or more point spread. You like the Cowboys though, CJ. Let me know why.
I just think the Broncos are, I think the opposite of the Broncos. I think they're on fraud alert. They remind me of some teams that, again, have just been sneaking by, and people think they're better than what they are, and I don't think they're that good. Plus, Sean Payton's going at Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson. I don't like that either. Sometimes it's not in the X's and O's and the analytics. I don't like where Sean Payton's head is at. So I like Cowboys. I think Cowboys running up on them.
He did absolutely dog Mr. Unlimited. That was pretty classic. Another one that I'm leaning towards, have not officially submitted it on our Wednesday night slash Thursday morning pod here. Giants got their hearts absolutely ripped out with a field, kicker, backup kicker. Graham Gano was out, backup kicker that missed 2 extra points. And then they give up an NFL record 33 points in the fourth quarter to lose. They've also already beat the Eagles once this year. I think the Eagles are at home. I think they've got revenge on their minds. They played well last week against CJ's Vikings. The Giants come to town kind of beaten and battered, wearing their scars and bruises from last week. I sort of like the Eagles to absolutely run away with this one. Give us a little insight while we still got you, CJ. Carson Wentz, is he the guy? I mean, the Vikings really could have won that game against the Eagles.
Is Carson Wentz the guy should never be a question because it's a clear no. We got 1 minute left here. No, Carson Wentz. I didn't say it. He sucks. JJ McCarthy's also. Hannah's take early in the year was right. I think they are just benching him for his injury, just to be, build up his spirits. So, shout out HJ. I think she's right there. Start Max Brosmer. Roll the boat, Scotty. Go Ghosts.
All right. Thanks everyone for jumping on this week.
All right, Dudley, one more bite.
Williams.
Show us the bite.
Put her down, Dudley.
Oh.
He didn't even get through all four.
Basketball.
Imagine,
now.
imagine if Bias Better Hannah had to take down all four of those quarter pounders. Dudley couldn't do it. Hannah would have had no